result and a good display. The three new players in the side will hopefully give us a lot more experience and a bit more pace, especially up front with Emery, who did very well at Chelsea considering he hadn't played this season. Tony, I'm looking for a good performance for him. The unfortunate thing is that he's not been playing competitive football this season. This is a big game for him. And John Gidman, it's the same. He's not been figuring in Manchester United's plans, but he's done it at Villa, he's done it at Everton, he's done it at Manchester United, so there's no reason he can't do it here.
Well, all I can say really is Monday morning I was a United player signing off, and now I'm a City player playing against them today. So really I'm just looking forward to that.
Derby games are special. I've been fortunate since I've been here of not having had a losing side, and hopefully that will continue today.
Well, things had changed a bit from last season when we come here. We were on a crest of a wave last season, and we come here and we won 3-0. This season it's a little bit different. City are down at the bottom and we are close to them. So it's a very important game for us, and we're just hoping to go out there and get the same result as what we got last year.
Well, last year, Jim, was a 3-0 victory for United. Can they do the same thing today?
I don't know, it's difficult, isn't it, Ian? You know, they're fourth and bottom. City are what, bottom? I mean, United's best attack so far this season was when Remy Moses set about Jesper Olsen, wasn't it? So it's difficult to know. I mean, City 5 million in debt. Their next signing will be the official receiver, I suppose. He won't do much for them either. But you never know with local derbies, do you?
No, you can't.
It doesn't necessarily mean league positions or the form of teams. They usually produce something special, and that's what we're hoping for today, isn't it?
Well, I saw City last week at Chelsea, and they didn't look a bad side, Jim. But let's wait and see. And with that, we'll hand you over to David Pleat. But first, our commentator, Brian Moore.
Thank you, Ian. Well, the teams for this 109th derby between City and United. Manchester City first, with Perry Suckling in goal, bought from Coventry in the summer. Into the back four now comes John Gidman, of course, Mick McCarthy, Kenny Clements. At left back, Clive Wilson, who's converted from the midfield. And in the midfield now, that much-needed experience from Tony Grealish is introduced. And up front, a bit of a gamble here for Jimmy Frizzell. 18-year-old Steve Redmond, who's been playing at centre-back, gets the striking job alongside Imre Varadi, making his first appearance at home since his arrival from West Bromwich Albion. Manchester United, Chris Turner in goal. In the back four, Graham Hogg gets another chance alongside Paul McGrath. Kevin Moran is left out. And in the midfield, Gordon Strachan has failed to recover from a hamstring injury, so Remy Moses comes in. Up front, Frank Stapleton alongside Peter Davenport, who has started to blossom now in United's colours. And Terry Gibson, incidentally, is the United sub today. He gets the nod over Jesper Olsen. So we're waiting now for the referee, David Scott of Burnley. It's his first ever appearance as a referee here at Main Road to get this derby underway. Let's get a quick word from the Tottenham manager, David Pleat, with me. What do you fancy today, David?
Well, lovely atmosphere inside the ground. The pleasure for me of seeing my first Manchester derby. Going to be difficult for City because they've got three new players in each department, at the back, midfield and up front. But hopefully, if they can get a good start, that will keep them going and force United back.
Well, it's City, of course, in the sky blue strip. There's Kenny Clements, their big central defender. Manchester United in red shirts and black shorts today. Stapleton. A break there, which McNabb couldn't make anything of. Stapleton finding Robson. Peter Barnes. And Barnes, who knows this ground so well, a former Manchester City player. He played 115 times for them, scored 15 goals. His father, incidentally, is still the chief scout here, Ken Barnes, the old Manchester City wing half, who said the ideal day for him today would be for City to win and for my lad to play well. Well, here's Brian Robson. A good interception there by David White, and the ball back with Chris Turner. Graham Hogg now restored to the centre-back position for United. He's been out for some 6 months with a pelvic problem. This is Clive Wilson, Paul Simpson. Wilson playing it forward again towards Varadi, who's scored goals wherever he's been. He's had a really good strike rate, Imre Varadi. 39 at Newcastle in 89 games, and 33 at Sheffield Wednesday in 76 games. It's a fantastic ratio, really. Davenport half hustled out of it by Kenny Clements, and Wilson gets it back to Perry Suckling. Hogg winning it in the air. Clements. Albiston. Robson's header and run by Gidman. Hogg away again, all a bit frantic out there at the moment, but that's customary. And a good break here by Davenport, and Suckling just a little late coming off his line, but in the end he smothered it beautifully. And the new confidence of Peter Davenport shown here. And Suckling for a moment appeared to be late coming out, but in the end performed wonders. David Pleat.
On 2 counts there. McCarthy seemed a little stuttery as he went to the ball, and Suckling certainly held his ground a little bit and didn't see the danger. But all's well that ends well, and Suckling did very well at the death.
McNabb to Wilson. Tremendous pace, and that's one thing that Imre Varadi has got as he takes it up now for City. Got to be held back for a moment there by Sieverbeck. Imre Varadi, a lad I think you had at Luton for just a short time. His clubs there, Sheffield United, Everton, Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday and West Brom. But right back there, I think you had him as a lad.
Yes, one that got away. Imre was at Luton for trials, and I believe he had a little spell at Tottenham for trials too. But he fought his way through in the end and has had a very good career in the game.
Sieverbeck with the throw.
It would appear Grealish has got the task of looking after Mr. Robson and Manchester United. An unenviable task, I would think, and it would be hoped that Grealish has got the first division legs. He's been out the game quite a while at this level.
Indeed, Tony Grealish has not started a league game since last February for West Bromwich Albion. So he might just be blowing a little bit as we come towards the end of a game, but he's a tremendous little competitor. McNabb. Varadi. Good ball there for Simpson, and played first time. Simpson. And Moses coming back now to get the ball back to his goalkeeper, Chris Turner. So Remy Moses goes back to midfield. It's a glorious day here. The players obviously having a lot of trouble with the sun with those high balls, and Clements getting that one. That was Kidman getting it away. Well, David, you say it's your first Manchester derby. The pace is frenetic and the atmosphere is quite electric, isn't it?
Yes, I'm
That's
sure.
Steve Redmond, sorry, he's the young lad who's playing up front with Varadi today. He came to Main Road as a striker, but has been playing as a central defender, and indeed played at Old Trafford in the derby game last spring as a central defender. Davenport, Whiteside, a good left foot cross there, and it was McCarthy who put it away for the corner. It's a delightful ball played in there by Whiteside. And Peter Barnes will take the corner for Manchester United. Suckling using his height and his fists well. Simpson now getting Varadi away, and Albiston in quickly. Well, he knows all about Manchester derbies. There's this young, not so young man, the 29-year-old Arthur Albiston now. 14 he's played. Wilson. McNabb given away to Whiteside. Planted forward again towards Davenport. And here's John Goodman. It's a curious thing, though, the pace of the game, David, and it almost takes your breath away up here, doesn't it, the rate that it's being played?
Yes, I think City will try and hit Verratti early behind the fullbacks for him to run the fella Hogg out. And also Redmond's got a little bit of pace too, although he's a massively built and a very strong fella and a very good reader of the game at the back. He's got some pace.
Well, that was a problem there for Suckling. It was Clements who invited him to come out instead of maybe getting there and passing it back safely. And he really put the City goalkeeper in danger. City in a little bit of trouble here now. But now Grealish. Forward to Redmond. Played wide for Wilson. Robson. Whiteside, McNabb tackling him unfairly from the back. Orbiston. It'll be Orbiston with the throw. Stapleton. A little dummy to get himself a yard from Clements. And the cross is in there. It'll come to Peter Barnes. Looked for a moment as though he might get a strike in. Stapleton curling it in, and Suckling quite comfortably and confidently gathering it. And a good throw out now to Paul Simpson. That should be cut out by Hogg, but only as far as McNabb. And bottom of the table they may be, Manchester City, but they're coming forward with a lot of confidence at the moment. This is David White, an 18-year-old, and the cross eventually reaches Simpson, who is beaten quite comfortably by the big Dane, John Sieverbeck. 25 years old yesterday. Finding Stapleton. Barnes has got some space through the middle. And Whiteside coming up fast. Free kick, brought down by Goodman. Can't believe the pace of this game at the moment. There's no way this can be kept up for 90 minutes.
It's uncluttered in midfield, Brian. There's plenty of room either side. Everyone's trying to make good angles.
Well, interesting position here. Referee David Scott getting the wall back 10 yards. Whiteside and Robson, and it might come for Sieverbeck, but it was charged down well by Grealish. Moses finding Paul McGrath. Here's Davenport, and a nice little cross by him in towards Brian Robson and over the top.
Makes you wonder about free kicks, Brian. Grealish did exceptionally well to charge that down, but never in 100 years was he 10 yards from the ball.
And Robson, who scored from the spot here in the derby last season when United won 3-0. Penalties today after the fiascos that we saw in our last big match live when they missed 2 against Chelsea. I think the penalties today would go to Peter Davenport. It's big Mick McCarthy, the Republic of Ireland international they bought from Barnsley. It's a long kick by Perry Suckling. McGrath caught a little bit off balance there. Simpson getting it in now. Redmond playing it back when he might well have had a shot himself. He played it back towards David White, but suddenly Redmond was in with a shooting chance himself. Goodman getting some good-natured boos from the Manchester United fans. Berardi. This will come for Wilson. He's got a nice left foot and a lovely one that picks out David White. And a throw for Manchester City.
City don't seem in awe of United at all. They're going forward.
McNabb. And now White. Deflected off the United defender. And Redmond getting the better of Orbiston. Kidman with the cross coming in. And Simpson tried to get there before Sieverbeck. Grealish putting it in, and McGrath getting it away. This is good, red-blooded stuff here at Main Road at the moment. Orbiston with the long clearance. Clements getting it back for City. Berardi. And ball says Grealish, and referee Scott agrees.
I think the tempo of the game is set by both goalkeepers, particularly Suckling. He's used every ball that he's saved very quickly.
Grealish with the kick for Manchester City. Some 12 minutes gone if you've just joined us. No goals yet in this City United derby. Berardi playing it in, and there could so easily be one there for White. Grealish playing it in again. Redmond couldn't get it away, and so here's Robson. The long ball now towards Stapleton. Close call here, David Pleat.
There is a clever ball in.
And some good work by Orbiston.
And Berardi did well against McGrath on the far side. McGrath won't be too happy with that, allowed him to return near the byline.
Very enjoyable stuff at the moment.
It's fast and it's open, and it's been played with a good spirit, Brian.
Free kick to City. McNabb with it. This young Steve Redmond right in there. Berardi played back for Grealish. A shot that is just wide.
Not a goal scorer by nature, Grealish, but there's a splendid knock-off by Berardi. He seems to have settled very quickly.
McCarthy with the header for Manchester City. Here's Norman Whiteside for United. Kidman, Berardi, and that's a lovely ball played for Simpson, but the flag is up. He was fractionally offside. As you're saying, he's settled down really well, Imre Berardi. He's scored goals wherever he's gone. He got one against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in his first game last Saturday after only 6 minutes. But 0-0 here. Here's Peter Barnes. White, I don't think McCarthy will get that one. But Wilson got there before Moses. Robson again. Sieverbeck. Again a quick challenge that time from McNabb. Everybody's going in. This is a fantastic atmosphere as Berardi now takes it up for Manchester City, and the shot is just wide. Well, there's the old saying about it's no place for a faint heart out there today, and that certainly is true.
Grealish and McNabb are buccaneering in that middle part of the field, and Whiteside and Robson better watch their ankles. They're really going in quickly.
Quarter of an hour gone. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. Balls for Steve Redmond. Berardi nicking it away. And now Wilson. McNabb. White. Fogg grateful to get the chance to clear that one. Clements. Both sides really fired up for this one, knowing that a victory will give them a little bit of breathing space. Falls conveniently for Peter Davenport. That's a foul by Grealish. And the referee calling him to him, and will book Tony Grealish after 17 minutes of his career with Manchester City. David Pleat?
Well, that's what Grealish has been bought for. He's a good tackling player. Yeah, silly really, very late.
Well, Atkinson, the Manchester United manager, the little bit of pressure that's been on him early this year, it's still there of course, but it's been eased a little bit by gaining 7 points from his last 3 games. Peter Davenport, who really has begun to blossom a little bit, I think, as all Nottingham Forest fans know. He's scored 4 times now for United this season, 2 of them from the penalty spot. 59 goals in some 139 league games for Peter. That's a very, very good strike rate. And he's moving very gingerly at the moment. Now, Robson behind this free kick, and Moses. And Hogg has come up from the back, and Moses playing it towards Whiteside, and taken by Suckling.
Suckling's career has really blossomed here. I think he's been a super signing for the club, and they're very well off in the goalkeeping position. He's got good competition to keep him stimulated.
Yes, he's a lad who made his first appearance for Coventry when he was only 16 and got limited chances there, only 27 games. Here's McCarthy finding David White. And Berardi. Could be a bit of danger here, but no, Moses has snuffed that out. Barnes finding Robson. Beck. Wilson. And McGrath getting back. And beating Redmond. The way back is dangerous. That was a bit risky by Mick McCarthy, it seemed.
Has a reputation.
Terry Gibson doing a little bit of warming up. Sorry to interrupt you, David. Presumably, just in case the knock on Davenport is a little more serious than we think. Right side. Grealish getting through not 1 tackle but 2. Now Robson. McNabb trying to go in and hustled the error out of the England and United captain. Simpson to Wilson. Now McNabb. Redmond. McNabb again. Oh, the little gap was there, and McNabb took it well. Redmond with a shot! Their first corner. And Steve Redmond, the 18-year-old Liverpool lad, using his strength well to get in and get his shot in. He's a lad from Liverpool. He's a Liverpool fan and still is to this day, he says. Got his family here to watch him. That's out of play. David, I interrupted you a moment ago. It's so little opportunity to get words in at the moment.
I think City are playing at the peak of their powers at the moment. They're really hustling well, they're playing at a good pace, and I think they're in top gear. I think Manchester United will be able to raise their game a little bit the longer they hold City at bay.
So Graham Hogg Big, strong Scottish boy, 22 years old. Left-footed free kick there. Kenny Clements getting it away. Here's young David White, losing out to Whiteside. And Clements. Augustin. And played back by Clements to Suckling. Wilson. Berardi right back there, tangling with Moses and conceding the free kick to Manchester United, which Moses has already taken as we get to the halfway mark in the first half, and still goalless. A poor ball that time by Robson, who is furious with the lack of movement from his front men ahead of him.
Frizzell will be quite pleased at the moment that United haven't got round the back of the City defence once and haven't really had a good effort at goal.
City's throw. John Kidman with it. McNabb. Kidman. And another City throw. City, who haven't won in the league since the opening day of the season when they beat Wimbledon. Kidman. Did it again. Wilson towards Redmond, too high for him. Kidman. McGrath getting that away, only as far as Redmond. He's got time to tee up a little cross, and White went in there bravely, didn't quite make a contact. Paul Simpson. Now, can he tease an error out of Sieberbeck? He decides to play it to Wilson. Early to Berardi, and now to McNabb. Looking for a way through. Greenish won't come that way. Whiteside cuts it out, and is back with Chris Turner. City have lost their last 4 league games. They've won only 2 of the last 24 league matches they've played. They really are going through a bad spell, but there's certainly plenty of good spirit in the side on the evidence of the opening 25 minutes. But here's Barnes. This could be a problem. Comes off Kenny Clements. United thought for a moment it may have been handball, but it wasn't. Redmond showing good skill, and a lovely ball. Now as White takes it up, he's got Berardi in space. A lovely ball for Berardi, and some great work by Turner, and a brilliant move by Manchester City, engineered by their young men Redmond and White, and almost finished off by the new man Berardi. David Pleat, what a great move.
Excellent early play. If you'd have seen Dynamo Kiev and the Russians playing like that, you'd have been thrilled. That was wonderful play by City. Move to be proud of.
Kidman. Redmond. Sieberbeck. I guarantee he's not played in many derby games like this in Denmark. Free kick to Manchester United.
I think City have obviously spoken about putting early crosses in behind the United defence. They've played several good quality crosses in quickly, which has given them problems.
Well, McGrath now with the free kick for Manchester United. Mick McCarthy underneath this one. It'll only come as far as Moses. Stapleton. It might go anywhere. It comes to Barnes. Saved at point-blank range there by Suckling. And now Augustin playing it in again. More trouble here for City. Saved again by Perry Suckling. Free kick, in fact. Peter Barnes so close to getting a goal there against his old club. But some excellent work by Perry Suckling in the City goal. In fact, both goalkeepers today so far have been superb in their play. Grealish bravely in with his head. The feet of Robson were too high. It'll be a free kick. And Grealish in a bit of trouble.
One thing about Grealish, he won't pull back, Brian. He sees the ball and he goes for it.
Well, you've had him for a few seasons at Luton. You know better than most about him, David.
Yeah, he's a nice lad. We called him Paddy affectionately. He's an Irishman from Paddington. And of course he's had a few caps. And of course he's at now the swan song of his career. Whether he can do it over a period for Manchester City, I wouldn't like to say. But if he just holds the ground, he can do a good job.
I know when Jimmy Frizzell thought about getting him here, he rang you to say, should I buy him?
Well, he's a good tackler, and if the other people have got the legs around him, he can give them the ball for them to play with and to use their skills. But he's very solid, and he's a great competitor.
Well, there's the City bench. Tony Book, you'll see in the middle, in the spectacles on the far side, the manager, Jimmy Frizzell, who's really got his side into good shape for this match. Kidman. White. McNabb. Well, take no notice of their positions in the table. Manchester United 20th and Manchester City at the very bottom. I hope at home that you're enjoying a really enthralling and gripping Manchester derby game.
The strange thing is, Brian, that if United win this game today, they're only 9 points off the top. Indeed, with 16 points separating top from bottom, there's an equality about the First Division, which is looking good.
And what City are saying, if they can win this, they get within a point of Manchester United, which means a lot to them up here in Lancashire. The tackles and the challenges are flying in still. The commitment is total. And City have another free kick with McNabb. Neil McNabb. Robson. Davenport. Moses. Davenport again. McCarthy's challenge was too strong. Wilson playing it in. This will be for Twister. And now Orbiston, who scored a scorching goal here in this derby last season. Well, gets it back. Kenny Clements to John Gidman. Berardi, a bit of space for him. Picked out well there by Gidman. And McNabb turning it nicely and inviting Wilson to come forward. He's got Simpson away on his left, as you can see. And that's a delightful ball played there for Paul Simpson. A good cross coming in. And unfortunately, Redmond is cueing badly.
The important thing, Brian, was he wasn't afraid to miss. He had a good crack at it, although Neil McNabb was waiting in a more advantageous position behind him. But of course, he probably wasn't to know that.
Good work again by Paul Simpson. He's only 20.
Both these clubs fought out the final of the FA Youth Cup last year, so they've both got very good youth policies.
And City won it, I think, didn't they?
Yes, I believe so.
With Redmond as their skipper and centre-back, I gather. Well, here's Simpson. So a corner then for Manchester City. It'll be taken by Neil McNabb. Renewing a midfield acquaintance with Tony Grealish, of course, that he had down on the south coast with Brighton. Headed away by Stapleton, only as far as Simpson. McNabb with a chance of crossing it in again. It came off Remy Moses. McGrath, but there was a bit of handball. It'll be a free kick to Manchester City. Just past the half-hour mark, still 0-0 here at Main Road. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 0. Davenport and Whiteside getting back in that wall and being forced to go back 10 yards, which they certainly aren't at the moment. Moses in there too. And Tony Grealish, you can see there, complaining to the referee, and in point of fact he's quite right. And that was aimed towards Clements, and it was as well for United that Paul McGrath was there. Good bit of play by Grealish. A different sort of cross that time by Simpson. And Whiteside just a little fortunate to get that one away. And a little lucky indeed in the end to find Peter Davenport. Running free with Robson, his captain, up with him as well. And now with Stapleton. Redmond right back to Perry Suckling. A Londoner born in Hackney who lived in Leighton, just a stone's throw from the Orient ground at Brisbane Road, and in fact tells me he used to go and watch Tony Grealish play when Grealish played Sunday morning football on the Hackney Marshes. Well, now he's in the same team as Tony Grealish, doing very well here at the moment against Manchester United, 0-0 in a real all-action Manchester derby. Paul McGrath with the kick for Manchester United. About 12 minutes to go to half-time. And Ian Brightwell, the Manchester City substitute, stripping off. I don't know quite whether the problem is with Tony Grealish. He's a promising little midfield player, is Brightwell. David Fleet, can you understand?
No, I haven't noticed anyone injured at the moment, but of course, Jimmy, maybe you just make him Brightwell strip as a threat. 12 minutes to go before half-time. You know, keep it going, or else you're off.
Robson to Davenport. Cut out by Clements. Jimmy Frizzell was worried about whether Tony Grealish, with his lack of match practice, would last the full 90 minutes. I think he expected him to go maybe a little further than this, though. Suckling. Grealish. Free kick to City. 10 minutes to half-time. McNabb. Wilson. McGrath getting it away. Here's Whiteside. Nothing between these two sides at the moment. As Clements backtracks.
Davenport was a lonely figure chasing that ball upfield. I feel at times that City's support play has been far superior to United's in this first half. They've had more passing options when they played the ball forward.
Hogg beating Redmond. Kidman gets it back. I'm just wondering, it's something for you to ponder at home. I wonder if he's the only player ever to be on the books of both Merseyside teams. He was on Liverpool's books. He didn't actually play for the first team. And Everton's, of course, Manchester United and Manchester City. I can't think of anybody else. I wonder if maybe you can at home. I think as far as he got at Liverpool was cleaning in St John's boots, Sir David.
I'm sure Ian paid him.
Robson, a great cross there by him when the ball seemed lost on that touchline. And here comes City again. There's Simpson. Wilson. Ferrari. No, the whistle pulls him back. Davenport again off Stapleton. And the cross in towards Robson, he's in there again. And Kidman getting himself out of trouble. But he might have put them back in it again. Right side shot has no power. And there is no problem.
It's interesting, the tussle at full-back there, Gidman against Barnes. They must have played against each other many times over the past few months in United practice matches, and they should know each other inside out.
Kidman conceding the throw, to be taken by Arthur Albiston. There's Peter Barnes. Oh, delightful play by Barnes. He beat Kidman there, but his cross was bad. Made his first appearance for Manchester City right back in 1974-75. And he's played, as you see, with Manchester City, West Bromwich Albion, Leeds. He had a little spell in Spain and came here from Coventry. In addition to over 20 caps for England as well. Barnes versus Kidman. Kidman won that one. Not only that, he found Grealish with a delightful little ball. And now can Berardi make trouble here? Well, there was a collision between McGraw and the keeper, and Sieverbeck came to United's rescue. Kidman. Well, he resisted the temptation to play it back. Twice. This time finds McCarthy. And now Clive Wilson. Berardi. Wilson. Well, you would never think City were bottom of the First Division on this performance. But still 0-0. Here's White. And the shot driven wide.
That's the first time White's taken Albiston on the inside on his weaker foot. And then the space opened up for him.
5 minutes to half-time, as you can see, that's the score. And Chris Turner, 28-year-old United keeper, with the goal kick. That was Whiteside winning that one. Here's Clements. Neil McNabb. Tony Grealish doing so much shouting. You can see the influence he's going to have on this City side in the midfield, organising things, but now some defending to do, and Barnes has got the legs of him there, and in the end McCarthy comes in. A good piece of defensive play there again by City. Too high for Redmond. Berardi trying to make something of it, and Albiston's header with enough purchase on it to get it back to his goalkeeper Chris Turner. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half now. You can always tell when a game's been enjoyable. The time, maybe it has with you at home, it seems to have flown here, that opening 40 minutes. Wilson gets it back again. Big David White, a 6-footer, 19 years old on Thursday. McGraw away. Stapleton. McCarthy. Redmond's after this. McNabb. Redmond. It might come to Simpson. He's got Wilson available. Now it's with Wilson. Looks so comfortable on the ball, Clive Wilson. McNabb, Redmond, it's Wilson again, slotted into that left-back position with the departure of Paul Power to Everton. Grealish. Whiteside tangling with him, and McNabb, and a good advantage played there by referee Scott. And here's Redmond now for City. McGrath is with him, and he tripped over himself, and Robson now with the clearance for United. Clements charging clumsily into the back of Davenport. It's the second spell Kenny Clements has had here at Main Road. In between times he played over 200 games for Oldham.
What's been pleasing about this half, Brian, is the two flank players, Simpson and White for Manchester City, haven't been pulled too deep. They've played as forwards, and it's really opened the game out, and it stopped Alveston and Sieverbeck on the other side from getting forward and joining in attacks.
Jimmy Frizzell was saying that points are more important to them than an attractive performance, he said, but in spite of that, we should be having a go at Manchester United, and he's certainly been true to his word. There's Robson with a shot, and it's too high.
My fear would be that they just may run out of steam unless they can get into it straight away in the second half. They've had the ascendancy this half, but they failed to capitalise with a goal, and they might have just needed that.
Well, we have 2 minutes of the first half left now. McNabb. Played in early by Simpson, but that's no problem there for United. Paul Simpson. McCarthy, it goes to Robson, and Clements returns it. Simpson with the jump, but he's out jumped by Sieverbeck. Here's Goodman. Space to play it forward. Wilson, or into the path of Brian Robson, and just wide of the City goal. Well, the crowd are making tremendous noise here now, and I hope that atmosphere is coming through to you at home as well. Kidman. Grealish battling away with Whiteside, and then flings this long ball forward, but Berardi again caught fractionally offside. The City fans will be delighted to see him. He's certainly added a little bit of variety to the attack here at Main Road. And now Barnes. We're in time added on for stoppages at the moment. Challenge by Hogg on Redmond was too fierce for the liking of the referee, and provides Manchester City with another free kick. Kidman. Clements. Wilson to Redmond, or rather to McCarthy, who was up there. Sieverbeck's throw. Wilson, delightful skills there by the young left back, and then McNabb taking it up until Whiteside gets in and stops the City attack, and the referee's whistle stops the first half action, which has been absolutely non-stop from the very first whistle. A lot of credit then to both these sides in this 109th Manchester derby. What an exhibition of fully committed football we've seen from both sides in that first 45 minutes. But as yet we await the first goal, and we shall also be awaiting the comments of Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves, which come up after the break. Jimmy Greaves was enthusing about at half-time. I have to say that I saw the man he's replaced here, Paul Power, at Goodison Park yesterday. Now that really was a full-back performance there in an enthralling game against Watford. But young Clive has done really well, considering also he had a really bad ankle injury that kept him out for a long spell a couple of seasons ago. But here United straight away coming into the reckoning as Kidman gets it back to Perry Sutton. had a word from below from Jimmy Frizzell, who says he's delighted with the way his team are playing at the moment. His main concern, though, is the fitness of Tony Grealish, who has got a little bit of a hamstring problem. And there's Grealish on the ball straight away, but as David Pleat says, he is such a competitor that I think the hamstring probably is the last thing on his mind at the moment.
Well, he might keep his ambition tight if he's got a hamstring strain. He doesn't want to go on too much. He just wants to sit in the hole and keep supplying the other people with the passes. If he starts going on too far and playing 1-2s, he'll get caught out and won't have the pace to get back.
Well, here are United then with a free kick. And it's there! And it's Stapleton! And United have made the breakthrough.
Good run by Davenport. At the end of the day, he shouldn't have been allowed to get in front of McCarthy, threatening to the net.
Well, that's a hammer blow for City. And now Orbiston. Davenport, the little touch for Arthur Orbiston. Knocked away that time by McCarthy. And City in a bit of trouble here. And a free kick for Manchester City.
It'll be a massive test of character now for City. They'll soon find out who are the ones with the character.
Well, the United fans are in raptures. They are the City fans who are doing their best now to urge their team to get back into the game. Their last win, Manchester City, in a derby game, incidentally, is away back in 1981. Stapleton. Robson. White side. Stapleton. White side. Robson. Moses. And Robson again. They're full of running now. And I think Moses now getting that in. And behind for the corner.
I think Rob must have had words at half-time. They definitely stepped up a gear. Indeed, the very first move in the second half, Robson looked almost sure to score when Gidman was very bright on the cover and played the ball back to the keeper.
Barnes with the corner for Manchester United. Time it was White who got it away, but not very far. McCarthy. White side. Moses getting in. Kidman. Redmond. McNabb. Whiteside a clean pair of heels there. Berardi, though, losing out to Hogg. Well, much relief for the big man in the spectacles, Ron Atkinson, who has never lost a Manchester derby. 2 wins and 4 draws since he became manager of United. And now his side are 1-0 ahead, as Moses now finds Sieberbeck. And that'll be a goal kick. Simpson. Redmond. Moses is there, but Redmond is going all the way. Oh, it's saved for the last by Turner. What an enthralling start to the second half. And what a great young run by this 18-year-old. A long, long way, just poking it out there. And Turner saving the day for United. McCarthy in there with a header! And he's equalised! 1-1! Absolutely incredible! His first goal header. What a brilliant goal. And 1-1 the score. David.
If it wasn't poised already for a great encounter, it is now. Terrific start to the second half. But I thought on the previous run that Boy Redmond did so well, and Moses also did well. I thought he was going to pull him down from behind. He went on and on and on, and then the keeper did well to block. But maybe some justice was served there with a great header.
Throw to Manchester United. You can't hear yourself think here at the moment in the loudspeak. Goals are such a rarity for Mick McCarthy. He scored none last season, and now that was his first this season. And he won't score a better one.
Occasionally scores an own goal, Brian, I'm led to believe. But not as good as that, I shouldn't think.
Hogg with the free kick for United. McCarthy, the goal scorer, now the saviour at the other end. Kidman away. Sieverbeck. In goes Orbiston. McCarthy again. White. A little touch for Kidman. It wasn't a good ball for Kidman. But he made something of it and finds Berardi. And now Grealish trying to spray it wide towards Simpson, but that's Sieverbeck's header for United. White again. And Redmond is offside. He's offside.
Been a little bit of miss up front, and one could recognise that he's more of a central defender than an attacker.
Kidman. Redmond to Wilson. Simpson's away on the left for him. Berardi is raking stride through the middle, but Orbiston back to Turner. So your first derby game, you're glad you came, I should think.
Well, it's much better. It's much better than sitting at home worrying about defeat. Lovely to be here.
Wilson, and Berardi is onside. But he's got a lot of work to do, but McNabb now finds Simpson. That goal certainly has restored City's confidence. But Sieverbeck doing well, although he commits the foul and provides Manchester City with a free kick. And big Mick McCarthy is forward again. And Kenny Clements. And the kick taken too quickly for the liking of the referee, just when Tony Grealish thought that a shot on goal might be a possibility. Oh, this is breathtaking stuff at the moment. Now with the free kick. McCarthy again powering in on the far side. Grealish with a shot, and no problems for United. So 10 minutes of the second half gone, if you've just joined us. Manchester City 1, Ron Atkinson's Manchester United 1. Kidman. Hogg getting it away to where it's safe.
Whenever City have played a forward ball, they've always had willing runners. Kidman's just hit that one into the space, and straight after it was Berardi. Berardi's done very well.
Kidman now. Robson. And no problems there for Kidman, getting it back to Perry Suckling. Wilson. rather it's White, and then it's Silverbeck who gets it away. Davenport versus Clements. And a foul by the United player, Peter Davenport, and a free kick to Manchester City. McCarthy for the home team. Redmond. Now he's got Simpson away, and Berardi's in the middle, and White's in the middle too. Oh, just a fraction too high for David White as he came steaming in. And City so close to getting a second goal. 1-1 the score. Now Davenport for United. And now it's Whiteside. Here's Peter Barnes. Wriggling free with Stapleton free on his right. Frank Stapleton. City's throw. No foul on the United striker. McNabb. Plenty of blue shirts over there. Kidman. Trying to get Berardi through. Nice little touch by Berardi. And Redmond just over the top.
City finding space very, very well indeed. And the lovely thing about Redmond is he's not frightened to miss. He keeps having a go at the goal, and eventually he'll get one.
Well, he's certainly having a much more effective second half, Steve Redmond. And it's Chris Turner with the goal kick for United. It's the first City United game that's been televised live, and it's an absolute stormer. 1-1 the score. And a foul, and a booking for Norman Whiteside. And in the meantime, Grealish, you can see, is down injured as well. David?
Yeah, I don't know if Tony's going to get through the whole 90 minutes. In fact, I should be very surprised if they don't bring Brightwell on almost straight away for him. He's done a very good job. He's taken the sting out of United attacks, and he's going to be very satisfied with his debut. It was interesting at half-time to hear Jimmy Greaves' comments about Wilson. Wilson was the only fullback on the field that didn't have a direct opponent in the first half, and he was in effect coming into midfield and using his composure and passing ability to spray good passes to the City forwards. For the start of the second half, United moved Barnes over to that side against Wilson. He's now gone back onto the left. But if Wilson's got room, Wilson can come into the play and have a big effect on the game.
Well, Tony Grealish is fit to go on, and Kidman drives his free kick straight to Chris Turner. Coming up to a quarter of an hour of the second half gone now, and the score remains at 1-1. McCarthy caught off balance and having a right tussle there with Frank Stapleton, who finishes up on the ground in point of fact. Robson, look at the hustling that's going on again from City players, but Robson gets the better of them this time. But McNabb's coming back for some more, and Robson in the end is forced to play it wide, and an error. And a perfect example there of how you can hustle a quality player out of his stride.
McNabb's been very influential in this game in everything that he's done, his use of the ball and his challenging.
Sorry, who are you talking about, David?
McNabb. McNabb, yes. Who did the hustling there. He looks as though he's a player that's matured with age.
Here he is. It's a long ball there, looking for White, but finding only Albiston. Never come for Berardi. Lovely skills there. As well as all the commitment and the pace, there's a tremendous amount of skill out there as well this afternoon. Here's Moses, and now Brian Robson. Here's Peter Barnes, and McCarthy conceding the free kick. Now this could be a problem. They spent a lot of time yesterday in their indoor arena on their training ground, United, and they had to go indoors because the rain was coming down like I've never seen it before, and they spend a lot of time on free kicks from this sort of situation. Normally with somebody just hanging off left, but this time playing it right for Sieverbeck, and all the planning and the preparation came to nothing on that occasion. United throw, Johnny Sieverbeck with it. Sieverbeck again. Robson. Davenport. Kidman trying to get in, but Stapleton just nick it away first. White side. Sieverbeck. Should be Clemence's ball, but it'll come in the end for Barnes. Sensible little ball played here for Albiston. And now Davenport. Robson. I thought Wilson challenging in there. It'll come free for Whiteside, driven by him, and well wide for the City goal kick. United fans packed in at that end of the ground, as you can see, thinking for a moment that all was going to be well when they went ahead, and then Mick McCarthy's header making them just that little bit more glum. Simpson up, and the break is on, and Redmond might be there. Saved at the arse by Hogg. Will it come for Berardi? And a corner.
We talk about commitment a bit flippantly, Brian, but the commitment of both sets of players has been excellent.
Clements. Clements back pedaling very quickly, and Wilson allowing Suckling to come out. So 18 minutes of the second half gone. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 1. McCarthy. McNabb losing out this time to Whiteside. Grealish is there, battling well, the free kick given, the foul by Robson. And Grealish is coming off. And just listen to the applause the City fans are giving him. His first appearance. And on comes Ian Brightwell, 18-year-old midfielder. Simpson with a header. Brightwell quickly into the argument, and if the name is familiar, his parents, of course, are those brilliant Olympic athletes, Robbie Brightwell and Anne Packer, as she was, who actually are here today to watch him. And in fact, Ian himself was a very good 400-metre runner, but then has turned to soccer, and here he is in a Manchester derby. Foul by Whiteside on McNabb. Didn't really get a firm touch on that one. Simpson. This will be Stapleton. Whiteside going forward. A good strong challenge and a fair one, well timed by McCarthy. There's McNabb going in, that time unfairly on Moses. A free kick to United. So it's Paul McGrath with a free kick for Manchester United. Towards Norman Whiteside. Barnes is in there. Can he get a shot in though? Moses can! Fractionally wide. After Peter Barnes had winkled his way across the edge of that penalty area. It fell quite invitingly for Moses as well. David Pleat.
I think they're a little bit scared to challenge him there. They're in a dangerous position. Moses certainly did well in supporting his attacks well to get in the shot.
Gidman. Offside against Berardi. Just about halfway through the second half now, David Pleat. Time for the old crystal ball.
Well, you caught me cold a second ago, Brian, when I was just thinking about the relenting pace of the game and you know, when is it going to slow down a little bit? But first-class entertainment, a very good poised game at the moment. I still feel that as the game goes on, United might sneak it.
Well, it's a throw for United on the far side. Their supporters reluctant or unable to get the ball over the fencing and back again. Alderson with it. Whiteside. It's Barnes. Brightwell's header. Comes to Frank Stapleton. Clements is shadowing him and concedes the corner.
Very difficult for Suckling this, coping at the near post. 7 bodies in there.
Barnes will aim towards them, as he does, and it was big Mick McCarthy who gets it away. Yes, it's interesting to look at that that near post.
Very
it makes it
difficult
almost
for the
impossible for the goalkeeper, doesn't it? That's hitting a bit lower, and that was easier. Time for White to get the header in and get it away for City. Orbiston. Davenport on the far side now. Moses. Whiteside, swift and a strong challenge that time from White. Moses now spraying it towards Stapleton on the far side. And then he loses out to Gidman. That comes off Orbiston, and it'll be a Manchester City throw. And Steve Redmond thought about taking one quickly. Instead of that is wicket. White, who's got tremendous pace, and Simpson couldn't quite get in there. At the end it was Sieverbeck who got it away. Towards Berardi, but McGrath forced to put it over. So now Simpson with the corner for City, and McCarthy there again, that time straight at Turner. See City's problems has been goal scoring, and really that's why they're bottom of the table, I suppose. They've scored only 8 in 11 league games, but they've offered quite a threat from time to time to that United defence today. Wilson. Well, there's some space up there. Oh, he's offside. Hogg now for Manchester United. It's played back by Clements.
McNabb now has the role of curtailing Robson's runs forward, and that just might stop his activities a little bit in starting attacks for Manchester City.
Oh, there was McNabb again, and here he is once more. Brightwell, a little flick on, yes, and White almost got there. In fact, it'll be a free kick, an alleged trick by Graham Hogg. Oh, he's booking him. That seems to me a little extreme.
Yeah, looked a little unfortunate there. White just edged it around him, and I don't think he deliberately tried to pull him down at all. White's an interesting player, very leggy, fair amount of pace. I'm not sure if he's really an outside right.
Well, that was an astonishing booking, looking at that slow motion replay as well. But there it is, Graham Hogg. And it's a free kick. Kidman with it. And a safe catch by Turner. Moses. McGrath. Moses. And McCarthy getting the better of Stapleton. A little over a quarter of an hour left now. 1-1 the score. Wilson's header away for Manchester City. McNabb. McGrath. Stapleton. Moses. And Brightwell right back there, just getting the footing when it needed to be cleared. And McCarthy doing sterling work again. Sieverbeck with the throw for Manchester United. Sieverbeck, deep cross. Stapleton's on the far side. Good handling by Perry Suckling. Clements. Plenty of blue shirts have gone streaming forward, but it'll be a throw to the home side.
The ball seems to have been in play constantly. It's hard to really realise that there's only about 15 minutes to go. It's been a non-stop effort, both sides, and the lovely thing is that they're both really going for the victory.
Berardi trying to get White away. You still have that feeling, though, that United have still one more gear to find, do you?
Possibly. I mean, this is one of the biggest pitches in the country. I think it's something like 119 by 79 yards, and the players are putting tremendous efforts, and I think they're more likely to tire than United.
Well, Whiteside finding Davenport. That's a good cross by Davenport! Well, it was Whiteside who came roaring in, and Suckling maybe just put him off enough, but it was certainly a tremendous piece of play here by Peter Davenport. What a great cross that was, always tempting the keeper, and Whiteside just clearing the crossbar.
Suckling just did enough to put him off. It's hard to imagine Whiteside's 21. I think he's still 21 anyway. Heavyweight.
21 he is. Jimmy Frizzell in the spectacles, the new Manchester City manager, who's taken over from Billy McNeil, who's gone to Aston Villa, of course. had a fairly quiet game. Robson. Hogg. Towards Stapleton. Clements. Can Barnes get there? No, McCarthy. They've defended really well, Manchester City. And nobody better than this fella here, Mick McCarthy, and Ken Clements alongside him. Albiston with the throw. Now Peter Barnes. Might come through for Robson. Stopped well by Wilson. Now Kidman. United's throw. Whiteside. Albiston. Good left-footed cross coming in. Robson's there with a header. And Suckling with the hands. And now Wilson. City's throw. Well inside the last quarter of an hour now. And still the score remains at 1-1. Still the pace and the quality of the game show no signs of flagging. McNabb, who's been brilliant. Middle ball for Davenport and now for Robson. But the sheer work rate of this City side, as well as the skill they put into it as well, has really for a long time thrown United out of their stride. No side could have worked harder than this team in blue today, and they're at 1-1 at the moment. But United coming forward with Moses. Oh, almost a disastrous misunderstanding there. Suckling called, I think, and Clements ducked just underneath it.
Lucky he's got good hearing, Brian. It's a close call.
In this noise, it's hard to put your thoughts together, I have to say. It's a tremendous atmosphere, and Jimmy Frizzell, I would think, probably just wishing the last 10 minutes or so away to come away with a very honourable draw. Although maybe he wants to come away with an absolutely magnificent victory.
It's been a first-class game. It's been a good advertisement for football. That's the important thing, and there's no one leaving this ground early. They've all thoroughly enjoyed the afternoon.
Now here's Robson, brought down by Clements. Oh, he's going to be booked. Well, I'm never happy criticising referees, but I have to say that the booking a short while ago of Hogg, and this one here, I must say my first reaction was that again that was a little bit harsh. I don't know what... Well, he looked to be genuinely going for the ball,
Yeah,
David.
yes. I mean, referees have to make split-second decisions.
I accept that.
But it's always unfortunate that the central defenders seem to get punished more than any other players on the field. They have to make those tackles.
Well, let's see now if United's work in training yesterday can bear some fruit from this free kick.
I think it's a similar position, Brian, isn't it, from the goal? From the goal that they scored. It's a similar position where Stapleton got on the inside of McCarthy for the goal. So maybe City have learnt their lesson.
Barnes. And a good header away by Clements. And Redmond away that time.
That was a 20-5 ball. 20-5 ball. High as possible.
Yes, which doesn't really apply when it's a 2:35 kickoff, but I know what you mean.
I never put the clock back, Brian.
See we're back. Hogg versus White. It comes to Ferrari. Now Brightwell. Simpson. Finding it hard to get a mistake out of Sieverbeck this afternoon. Now McGrath. Can United now go up that gear and snatch 3 points? 1-1 the score. City appear to have been going at full bore from the very first whistle. And as David Pleat was saying earlier, it's just a question of how long they can keep going at that peak. A little too high for Brightwell. Stapleton and Wilson just missing out on that occasion. Davenport. They've got to stop him getting his cross in, even at the expense of the corner. So a few furrowed brows now in the City defence as they seek to hold out again as Barnes takes the corner inside the last 10 minutes. Towards that near post again, a flick on by Hogg. Clements away as the goalkeeper came plunging for it. Played in once more by Hogg, and again the keeper going for it, and a good punch that time by Suckling and Simpson. And suddenly there's an opening here for Manchester City. McNabb leading the way, White going on outside him, and Ferrari in space on this side, and the flag is up.
First-class goalkeeping by Suckling. I think the young man's doing very, very well. He's enjoying this season in the First Division. And there was no shield on Hogg at the near post, and Hogg got that flick, and it made it a very difficult ball.
Yes, he's had a really good afternoon, Perry Suckling. Foul on Nick McCarthy by Frank Stapleton. A free kick to Manchester City. Simpson falls nicely for him, but look at the quick recovery of Sieverbeck. But a corner for City. Paul Simpson. This corner again, but McGrath getting that one away for United. And nobody's played better today than Neil McNabb, this time finding Simpson. And the flag was up for an offside against Simpson. Well, it's his first appearance at Main Road as a referee for David Scott, and it's one he's not going to forget. It's just been great to be here on this day, I must say. 1-1.
I think it proves, Brian, how fit referees have to be.
Moses. Now Robson, one of those characteristic runs again, but also a fine piece of covering again by Mick McCarthy. Now, from this angle it's hard to see whether it's a throw or corner. It's a throw. Oh, it's a corner. Well, certainly Brian Robson thought it was a throw. It was corrected by the referee. Jostling at that near post. It's a deeper one this time. White sides right in there, and in the end it was McCarthy just hooking that away. It could have gone anywhere. And then a bit of breathing space that time from Simpson. Ferrari on the chase, but a United throw. Kick. Sieverbeck will take it. Very, very deep one there towards Paul McGrath. A good header in, and again some good handling by Suckling. even though he was fouled by the onslaught of Whiteside and Robson, and a free kick for City.
McGrath thought twice about going up for that free kick, but it was Albiston that urged him to get into the box.
So there we stand, 1-1. About 3 minutes left. Hogg, a powerful header forward. McCarthy, a mighty kick away. Orbiston with the throw for Manchester United. Splendid derby game. Can it go for a victory for one side or the other yet? Oh! Whiteside's shot, the first semblance of a real mistake there by Perry Suckling. It somehow found its way through his arms, but behind for the corner. Well, it puts more pressure on City in these dying moments of this derby game. McCarthy up there, powerfully, and away come the blue shirts on another breakaway. Simpson's leading the charge. White has gone forward as well, and what a shame that Simpson played that ball, because White had made a really good break just inside him. Oh, look at the space here now for Whiteside. Maybe it'll go the other way. As Davenport goes through and suckling out again. When will the excitement end?
Obstruction there, Brian.
Sorry?
There was an obstruction on Davenport, but they got away with it. And probably deservedly. Two terrific counter-attacks.
And this time, as Davenport came in, they tried to hold him back. And what a brave and a good piece of positive goalkeeping. Barnes now. Orbiston. Kidman. Clements away. Robson to Barnes. Robson, a few gaps now appearing. Davenport. Orbiston. Just wide in the corner given. Came off the City defender. He scored his only goal, in fact, in this game last season, and then an own goal in the other game at Old Trafford. So Arthur's got a bit of a scoring record. But it's a corner now, Barnes to take it. The last minutes of the game, and another corner. 1 minute remaining. Again, they're crowded in at that near post. Again, there's a big threat to City. Suckling coming out there. Brightwell getting it away with a header. Robson charging in, but Simpson holding him off. Sieverbeck now for Manchester United. And Brightwell holding him off again. And then playing the ball forward, but there's nobody up. And Orbiston will have the option of shepherding it back to Turner, which he does, or playing it upfield. Man of the match, David?
All very difficult to say. There's been some very good performances. I think Jimmy Frizzell will take great encouragement by the youngsters' performances, Redmond and White.
Well, it fell just behind Berardi. It was an interesting ball from White. And now Kidman. Can Manchester City yet snatch it at the very last? McNabb. Time added on for injuries now being played as McNabb comes in, and it's played just a little too firmly. It'll be a goal kick for Manchester United.
I think the PFA are the winners, Brian. They've all done a credit to their profession today. It's been first class.
Sieverbeck forward. The final whistle. A splendid derby game, and credit to everybody on that field. And just look at the reception that they are getting from both sets of supporters. An absolutely superb game, some great goalkeeping, particularly from this man, Perry Suckling. And Manchester City, the bottom club, now go off the bottom. Stapleton scored the first. McCarthy then got a brilliantly headed equaliser. Let's get the views of Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves after this break.